because you're thinking that you're the only one that has ever happened to. And when you're looking around at the other people around you, that hasn't happened to them. And then you say to yourself, why me?
I'd been there because I knew I needed help. I asked him for help, but because I actually hadn't done anything at that particular time, as I walked out, he told me, "Don't do anything silly, Linda." And I just said to him, "Well, I can't guarantee that the way I'm feeling now."
That irritates me because you don't necessarily show on your face what you're feeling inside, and you don't know anybody's hidden agenda anyway, so I should think twice before saying that.
It's just a greeting, really, isn't it? They don't really want to know, but it sort of feels a bit dishonest, because if you're really crap and things are very dark and you're looking around you and all you can see is potential ways that you can do away with yourself, you can say I'm fine, but it's a complete lie, and yet they don't want to know really that you're really wanting to top yourself, because what are they supposed to say?
It's the one thing that people come out with: if you've got depression, get some exercise and you'll feel better. You'll have all these happy little endorphins jumping around your body, and that's going to boost your mood. And I hated every minute of it. I would just be in floods of tears, and I couldn't understand why. I was meant to be feeling happy. Everyone else around me was full of chatter and all excited, and I just wanted to get home. I did actually see my doctor, and his very simple solution was, if you're doing something that makes you feel worse emotionally, don't do it.
Well, I didn't quite know what society expected of me. I didn't quite know what, and I sort of feel that society is fast-paced and I have to comply with what they expect of me. And now I had this diagnosis of autism, and at least I know what it is.
It doesn't matter whether you've got bipolar, schizophrenia, you can have experiences of seeing things or hearing things or believing that you're someone else, and it's just part of the illness. And yes, it is a mental illness, so yes, it is in the mind, but comments like that aren't helpful.
I used to walk, march, from one room to the other, back and forth, and there wasn't anything I could do to control that. There was something built in me that said I had to march, and that used to drive my wife mad. And then that would fade away and I'd be all right, and then a couple of days later it'd come on me again, out of the blue, for no apparent reason, you know.
It's not going to be helpful to them at all until they find in themselves a change of their own mindset. Then the worrying will cease. But just being empathetic and just listening to what's on somebody's mind is far more helpful than telling them to stop worrying.
It's like a catch-22, really, because you might be asked, "Oh, that's not normal behaviour, is it?" And if you say, "Yes, that's not normal," then clearly you're in the right place because you're sectioned. And if you say, "No, it is normal," then you're just in the right place but delusional. And whichever way you act or behave, if you are acting normal, then you're just manipulative. And if you're not acting normal, then you're in the right place. So you can't win, basically.
I'm actually more comfortable with the depressive sides of my bipolar than I am the elated sides or psychotic sides where unreality replaces reality. So if one day feel, I'm really excited about this, or I'm really looking forward to this, I suddenly have to think to myself, hold on a bit, don't over look forward to something. It may sound daft, it may sound peculiar to pull up the reins on feeling good, but with a tendency to go right up with the fairies, then it has to be checked in every now and again. To have a life of balance between that means making sure that the medication is just right, that you're not getting too much of an antidepressant, that you're not getting overwhelmed with antipsychotics, that you've got the balance somewhere in the middle to address the total mood disorder.
The excitable bit is like it's like being plugged into the mains of electricity. Your heart's trying to come out of your chest, like you've just been involved in a near fatal car crash. That kind of adrenaline, shaky hands. It's impossible to make a considered judgment when you're in that hyper, being chased by a lion kind of a mindset. And you get a couple of hours sleep, and then you wake up thinking, "Man, it's lunchtime! Wow!" It's not a mood. It's very, very all-encompassing, and the reverse is the depression, where you just haven't got enough energy to get out of bed or down the stairs, and even the energy to make a decision about whether to check your emails first or pay the bills is, you can't even face thinking about which to do first. It's not like just being upset because I don't know, your football team lost or something. It's very, very much more fundamental and physical than that.
Initially, I was very against any form of pills. You want to do it by yourself. You want to prove that you still can do something. But I think it's important to understand that there's often a chemical reason for why we are depressed. For me, antidepressants give the body a kickstart. It is the same with people with diabetes and insulin. They need the insulin because the body isn't producing what it should do. And I do feel it's the same with antidepressants, to help the body to start working properly.
This blackness, I call it a black hole. It comes up and it comes over your head. That might last an hour, that might last 4 or 5 days. And there's nothing you can do to shake it, to get rid. It's there. And if I don't take my medication in the morning, by tea time, I can start to get them feelings again.
Well, all people think is, electric shock treatment. It's going to fuddle your brain up, and you'll be worse than when you're finished. It's going to hurt. You're going to be jumping all around everywhere. But no, it's not like that. I've had it. It's worked really, really well for me. But a lot of people won't have it because they are scared of how it used to be. It's usually short-term memory, but it can affect long-term memory. My daughter, I know a little while ago, I said about, I've been to Holland to see the bulb fields, and she said, "We went there once, didn't we, Mum?" Did we? No recollection of that whatsoever. But I'd rather have a bad memory than be dead. Because if I hadn't have had ECT, I would have been dead.
Okay, I've got it. I didn't expect to have it. It came as a great shock. And I need to adjust my life to it. Every time I'm fighting against it, I'm sort of yearning for a time and a person that I used to be. I'm not that person now. So the whole idea of fighting is fighting against who you are now. And you can't do that. Mental health changes you. It changes your personality. I'm a completely different person now from who I was before. But I know for me the best way through is to actually accept who I am today. Otherwise, I will just get so pressured and I'll feel useless because I can't achieve what I want to. So for me, fighting it is not the way ahead. To accept who I am, what I can do, they're the things that help me through to another day.
Well, they should speak to me how the way they used to and how they speak to other people. Shouldn't treat me differently. By talking to me ordinary, they're helping me get back into society.
They think I'm lazy. And they sort of think that I'm not doing things fast enough for them. Because everybody else is doing things, filing very fast, 2 minutes, everything in 2 minutes, and I take 5 minutes, and I sort of do it sort of, and it's taken me a long time to do it. Because of my mind, my want to get it done properly sort of thing in my mind, and I sort of feel that I take things a long time to do it.
They're just normal adjectives, or people talk about things being mental. Oh, it's mental, or insane, or whatever, and they're used without any reference to or realisation of what those things can actually be. And I suppose I don't know that I find it offensive. It's just that I think it indicates that we're quite casual about how we talk about mental illness in a way that, for example, things like spastic, it's not acceptable to talk about people with physical problems and use those words in a casual way.
I can remember looking at one of the questions, is Jackie safe to be with the public? And I go, no, I'm an axe murderer. It's just ridiculous. Mental health can't be associated with, or mental ill health shouldn't be associated with aggression. Aggression can come from all types, all forms of orders or disorders.
Why should somebody with a mental health illness be called a service user when if you go to the doctors, the dentist, you go and have occupational therapy, you're a patient. So why can't you still be a patient when you have a mental illness?
It's a regular thing with people with mental health problems. They either don't get up or they get up, have a cup of tea and a wash and go back to bed again because they can't face the day.
Well, Sunday I feel, particularly in the winter, I haven't got very little money on me, and all the buses are reduced service, and a lot of the places are shut, and I feel there's nothing to get up for on a Sunday.
For a lot of people, it can become such a pressure. What is your goal in life? What do you want to achieve? And often it looks at the material things of, if you want to have a Porsche in 5 years' time, how are you going to get it? What are the steps you need to take to be able to get to the Porsche? I don't think like that. I don't know how many people do actually plan their lives so exactly. For me, my goals are very, very small. With any mental health illness, your life gets very small, almost like tunnel vision. So for me, my goals are to get through the day in the best possible way I can, and hopefully have something at the end of the day that I can look back on and say, I enjoyed doing that. That was good.
My ambition is basically to do the things I want to do. I'm a changed person now over the past few years, and I will do what I want to do. And I won't let anything stop me.
I'm happy with my own company. I can cope with loneliness, but would like to be out and about. I feel I'm not committed to any particular individual. I'm not married, and I'm not responsible for a wife and children, and I feel I can cope with my own company.
I think it's important for everyone, to ill or not ill, to find something which feeds our soul and which is really going to boost us. And that means that we need to take time out each day maybe to do that thing that's going to help our mental well-being.
Look round the corner to make sure that isn't there waiting for me. That feeling is not coming back, And I think that's something what you do every day. When you wake up, you look round the corner to make sure they ain't there waiting for you.